Hi guys, this is me back again with the Ask Chima series. And so this is where traders ask me questions, just any questions at all, and then I answer those questions, just giving them a bit more clarity, as it were. So today in this video, I'm going to answer a question from a guy called Philly. Um, Sometimes I don't put the full names just to make sure that people are not feeling a bit, uh, some people don't like it when you say they've asked certain questions, but no question really is stupid. Every question is genuine, because those questions are the reasons why you are not doing certain things the way you want to do them. So the reality is just ask the question. And thank you, Philly, for your question. And so the first question says, let's say I'm a new trader and I have a minimum capital that can enable me to start trading with a broker that I have chosen, right? What is the first thing that I should do? Must I start buying and then sell later a currency of my choice? Or am I allowed to start by selling a currency of my choice when I see a selling opportunity? Now, I think what's happening here is there are some, the way Philly, you understand this is maybe it's kind of confusing trying to apply the traditional trading, goods trading principle. So it's like I have my mouse, and so I want to make money trading in mouse, in computer keyboards and mouse or computer accessories. And so I buy this mouse from the manufacturer at $5, and I want to sell it at a higher price, because the only way I can make money from this is buying it and selling it at a higher price, as it were. So there's that tendency to view this only from that perspective. But the reality is you've got to, first of all, understand certain other rules behind trading currencies, Forex, because it's not quite straight like that. And what do I mean by that? Currency pairs are, or Forex is the trading of assets, and those are currencies, but those currencies are bought or sold in pairs. So what do I mean by in pairs? If you see GBP USD, you are actually transacting the GBP USD pair. So you don't necessarily have to go buy GBP, keep it in your house, and then look for somebody that wants to buy GBP and sell you USD. So you're not actually physically having to do that yourself. The system around the brokerage and the software for trading just make all those so simple. So everything happens by the click of a button. So the broker themselves have got to, either them or a bank have got to hold on to individual currencies. So, and what they then do is they then are filling orders. So someone wants to buy a USD and sell GBP, and so they help fulfill that order, either from them or somebody else, another company, another financial institution can help and make that transaction happen. But you don't have to worry about those things because the system is designed to take away all that stress from you or for you. So all you just see is a button. So in a case like this on the chart, you can see all the currency pairs here, the symbols, and they are all in pairs. So all you need to do is just to see if, say for instance, I have this here, all you just need to do is to either sell or you buy. And the market is closed now, so I can't. So by clicking this, either of these buttons, you can either sell or buy. So by just clicking that button, it does all that business, all that technical stuff for you, and you don't have to think about it. Now, let me get into the depth of what your question says. It says, your question actually says, what is the first thing that I should do? Must I start buying and then sell later? And the first thing really you should do is not what you're thinking is the first thing. This is probably the third or fourth or fifth step you should actually take. The first thing really is to ask yourself what you're trying to do. So what's the expectation? I don't want to use the word goal. What's your expectation? So what is it you're trying to do here? That is the first question you've got to ask yourself. So am I trying to trade Forex to have some additional income? And how much additional income would that be? Am I looking forward to start drawing some income from my trading account, which means I'm not just looking for it to grow, either capital gains. So in reality, when you're getting involved in any investment at all, you're either doing it for capital gains, so you're not looking to take immediate income from it. And so you're just waiting for it to grow and grow and grow and grow, just like when you buy a house at £50,000 and you hold the house for 20 years, your expectation is that the price of that house might have got to 80,000, which means you now have a capital gains of 30,000. So that might be your goal. That's not a problem. Or if you want to start earning some income, so after some months you want to start paying yourself some money from your trading account, that can also happen. And that's going for cash flow. So it can either go for capital gains, or you go for cash flow, or you go for some semblance of both of them. So you're taking some cash flow as well as growing the investment for capital gains as well. So you've got to decide on what your approach is going to be, because the approach is slightly different. So if you choose that you're going to start earning some income from your account, from your trading account, the reality is you've got to give yourself some time to learn, master, grow the skill, and then start earning. So thinking that you will start to take an income from day one, I think is over expectation there. If you started a new business, you have to give yourself time to get the sales out, get the orders in, produce the product, and then sell it. So as well in Forex trading, you've got to give yourself time to understand the lingo, understand the concept, understand the processes, understand all the issues, the technical stuff around the brokers and all that, and then how to start taking trades and how to start making money. And that usually will not happen in 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You will need a couple of months to actually start mastering some of those processes. Now, that's not just it, as it were. So you've got to ask yourself, if you want to start earning money, the other key thing is, how much have I got in this? If you've only invested $100 and you're expecting to actually start paying yourself after 1 month or 2 months, now the question is, how much are you looking to pay yourself? Because with $100, if you start putting too much pressure on that money, if you have $100 to start trading with, and your thinking is that, oh, maybe I can start making $100 a week, or $50 a week, or $200 a week. Just think about it. If you had started off with $100 and you want to start making $50 a week, now that is absolutely possible to do, and people do it. But just reason this. Just consider this properly, that I have $100 and I want to start making $50 per week. That means $50 on your $100, which is about 50%. So your expectation is that on week 1, I'm going to do 50%. Then on week 2, you're going to do 50, just slightly less than if you do under 50, slightly less than 50%, but still very significant. The expectation isn't right. Now, this video is meant to be a short video. If not, it begins to drag on. So some of these answers I've got, I actually did a couple of videos explaining this, and it's in a membership area, 5TT Profit Club. So it will be beneficial for you to get involved, and just it's affordable. Get involved and get access to all these answers. But the reality is, the first thing you do is not to start buying and selling. And the way you're thinking of buying and selling as individual currencies is not the way it's done. It's done in currency pairs, and those currency pairs is what you then buy for value. So you're trying to buy the value of a currency pair, either going up or going down, and that's how you make money in trading, as it were. And so the things you need to think about is, what's the expectation? Then you need to consider your rules of engagement. And what do I call your rules of engagement? That is, what's the signal? Why am I executing this trade? What conditions have been met? What parameters have been validated? Can I show this on the chart? Is it based on fundamental factors, or is it just on the chart, which is technical? Is the time right for me to get in now? So you've got to understand those things before you even think of entering, buying or selling. And then when you decide to buy, you then ask yourself, what's the best entry price? What type of entry? Is it going to be a pending order? Is it going to be an instant order? What's my trade size? So what size of trade do I need to take? And you ask that question in the second one, and I'll touch on that a bit. What's going to be my stop loss and what's going to be my target? And then when you've decided all those, you then enter the trade. And once you get into the trade, you then start asking yourself, how would I exit this trade? Will I take partial profits? Will I trail the stop loss as I progress in profit? And will I execute additional entries? So you've got to think of that as well to actually be a successful trader. Now, these things look like a lot. If you follow our process in the 5TT Profit Club, you won't even know you're having to go through this process, because the way we designed our systems, these are taken into consideration, and you just need to just flow in them, as it were. So yeah, I think without getting too complicated, that's an answer for your first one, because a long one. Now the second question is, when I start trading, I want to start with a minimum of 250 USD. As a small investor, do brokers allow me to use standard lot or micro lot? Because I know that one pip is equal to 10 USD. When USD is the quote currency, it means that I could lose all money at once when using standard lot. Again, why would you trade standard lots on a $250 account? By the way, you can trade anything you want, depending on sometimes the brokers reserve certain kinds of accounts where you can only trade standard lots or micro lots in them. But in reality, if you're starting with anything between $100 or less than $100 and maybe even $1,000, you should really not be looking to trade more than 0.01, which is a micro lot. And that's a micro lot, 0.01 really, which is equivalent to 10 cents per pip. But that's not the important thing. You've got to once again, there are videos where I've explained this really well, and I'll put a link to those videos in the description of this one, so you can go back there and watch those videos, because there's more to this. But my first question to you is, if you're using an account as small as 250 USD and you're just learning, please do not trade anything more than 0.01. The important thing isn't you making $10 per pip or $1 per pip or $0.01 per pip. That's not important. The important thing is that you learn how to consistently make profits, because once you do that, irrespective of the lot size you start with, if you are consistently making money, your account size will grow, and it will go from you trading micro lots to mini lots to standard lots. So it's a process. You've got to realize that the journey is a process, as it were. So yes, your brokers can allow you to trade anything you want to trade, but just like you have pointed out here, there is going to be a higher potential of you losing your account very quickly if you start with a standard lot on a $250 account. But you can still trade the $250 account, but just start small. I use this analogy every time. You hear it many times from me. In a World Cup tournament, the team that lasts the longest is usually the team that carries the cup, that carries the trophy, gets the trophy. So your aim is to last the longest, and the only way to last the longest is by trading small lot sizes. And the other reason for to last the longest is because the longer you last in this game, the better you get. You're getting the experience, you're getting the subconscious experience, and you're training your mind to be able to see things that people naturally will not see if they're just new into trading. And the only way you would do that is the time. You need a time factor here to be able to do that. And the screen time, what I mean by the screen time, the chart time, spending time looking at the charts and trying to understand what price is doing, that happens in time, as it were. So I do hope this has been helpful. Let me know if you need any more clarification, and then please ask me questions. I'll do similar videos to just help answer those questions for you. Okay, until next time, you take care, and let's just get disciplined and let's go make some money. All right, speak to you soon. Cheers.